Introduction to artificial wombs. An artificial womb, also known as an ectogenetic device, is a technology that could grow and sustain a fetus outside the human body through the entire gestational period. While it may sound like science fiction, this idea has actually been under research for decades, with the main goal of aiding premature babies who can't yet survive independently outside the womb. Current developments and the science behind artificial wombs. The science of artificial wombs involves creating an environment that mimics the conditions of a natural uterus. This would include a way to deliver nutrients and oxygen, manage waste, and maintain a controlled temperature and environment to support development. In recent years, there have been promising breakthroughs. One notable experiment is the development of the biobag by researchers at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. In 2017, they successfully supported premature lambs in a fluid-filled environment, where they continued to develop normally. These lambs were kept in a plastic, bag-like device filled with a substitute for amniotic fluid and connected to a machine that provided oxygen and nutrition through their umbilical cords. While artificial wombs for humans are still in the experimental stage, the success with animals has led scientists to believe that a human version could be feasible in the not-so-distant future. However, there are many technical challenges to overcome, especially because human fetuses have unique developmental needs compared to animal models. Improving premature birth outcomes. One of the biggest potential applications for artificial wombs is to improve survival and development outcomes for extremely premature infants. Premature births, particularly those that occur before 28 weeks of gestation, pose significant health risks and are a leading cause of infant mortality and developmental disorders. An artificial womb could act as a bridge between premature birth and the ability to survive outside, giving these babies a better chance at life. Assisting in cases of uterine health issues or high-risk pregnancies. For women who have health issues that make traditional pregnancy risky or impossible, artificial wombs could provide a new option to have biological children without the same health risks. Additionally, this technology could help families who experience multiple miscarriages due to issues with the uterine environment. Reducing pregnancy-related health risks. Pregnancy can be physically demanding and sometimes life-threatening for the mother due to complications like preeclampsia or gestational diabetes. In theory, an artificial womb could allow the fetus to develop without the mother undergoing these risks. Potential for more inclusive reproductive options. Artificial wombs could open new avenues for people who are not biologically capable of pregnancy to have children, such as same-sex male couples or individuals who have undergone medical procedures that prevent pregnancy. Redefining parenthood and motherhood. If a fetus can develop entirely outside of a woman's body, it could change societal ideas about motherhood, pregnancy, and parenting. Some worry that it might detach the mother-child bond, which traditionally forms during pregnancy. The cultural and psychological implications of such a change are still speculative but worth considering. There are concerns about whether access to artificial womb technology would be equitable. Like with many medical advancements, this technology could initially be costly, potentially creating disparities between those who can afford it and those who cannot. This raises questions about who will control and regulate this technology and how it will be distributed. However, if fetuses can be sustained outside of a human womb at earlier stages, it could lead to complex questions around abortion laws and fetal rights. There are debates about whether artificial wombs could challenge existing laws by redefining when viability starts, which has historically impacted abortion legislation. Some psychologists and child development experts worry that an artificial environment might not provide the same stimulation and bonding experience that a human womb does. The womb environment isn't just physical but also interactive, influenced by the mother's heartbeat, voice, and biological rhythms. How these factors might affect children born from artificial wombs is still unknown. Potential for misuse or unintended consequences. As with many new technologies, there is a fear that artificial wombs could be misused, especially if used to push the boundaries of human development or create a designer baby culture. Regulation will be critical to prevent unethical practices and ensure that artificial womb technology remains focused on health and welfare. While the concept of artificial wombs offers significant potential, the technology is likely still a decade or more away from practical use in humans. Ethical and regulatory frameworks are also still developing as scientists, bioethicists, and lawmakers work to understand the implications. Researchers continue to study the developmental requirements of fetuses to better replicate these needs in an artificial environment. Organizations and ethics committees are also debating guidelines for future applications to ensure that artificial wombs, if they become viable, are used responsibly. Artificial wombs represent one of the most intriguing frontiers of reproductive science. They hold the potential to revolutionize neonatal care, make pregnancy safer, and broaden reproductive possibilities. At the same time, they bring a host of ethical, societal, and philosophical questions about the nature of birth and human development. Coming years will likely see advances in this area, and as the technology moves forward, society will need to carefully navigate these questions to responsibly integrate artificial wombs into healthcare.